Well, we will open our select board meeting here at 6:40. Since we had 2 site visits first, that's why we call the meeting to order. And the first item is to see whether there are any additions and deletions from the posted agenda. I believe you've given us a couple things here.
This is an FYI.
Basically, the setting of the town tax rate probably is about the only thing
Yeah, it's
extra.
on the agenda, but this was just
Okay,
some
yeah,
background
well then
on that, yeah.
we'll just move on. Anyone here want to give citizen comments, or you're waiting?
I don't know if I'm on the agenda, but I'm here to give an update from the the Economic Development Commission's board on the
Okay.
sign. You want to do that and get that out of the way, or whatever you want?
Since I don't see it on the agenda, sure.
Sure.
We can do it. Go right ahead.
Well, it just came, as you know, Barry and I have been working on the placement of the sign,
Yeah.
Welcome to Woodstock sign. So the last time we were here, we showed you the cost and what the sign would look like. We've had a sign design change. So I
Okay.
wanted to show you that, get your approvals on that. And the reason for it was Jill from Sustainable Woodstock wanted to incorporate the logo, so that's the new design.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See if you like that.
Since the logo has been a little controversial with some of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, there it is.
But they,
It is a handsome sign.
yeah, it's a good-looking sign.
Nice color.
Yeah. So the next order.
That's very different.
It's different. We've,
'Cause I know the trustees were hoping that you could repurpose the sign and then buy a Welcome to the Village sign.
right, and at our last EDC meeting, we voted against doing that. We're gonna leave the village to the village and just deal with signs in Tapsville and West Woodstock for now. And leave the other sign alone. Unless they wanna change their sign, then they'll have to do it.
Well, that was a town sign. It's
Yeah.
not a village sign. The select board paid for that. I don't believe it was a village.
What?
The Welcome Woodstock sign?
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was a village.
I think it was a
Oh,
village.
Oh, I guess you're right.
I think it was, if I
Okay.
recall.
You could check, but I just seem to remember
Yeah.
when
I
it
think
first went up,
There was,
there was criticism.
Right.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and when people came to me and I
Yeah.
said, wasn't my decision, that's
Yeah.
what I recall.
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this design came from an outside source that brought us 3 choices, and we voted on this one. It was really the best of all 3, incorporating that sign. They decided on something a little leaner and sleeker than, I personally prefer the village, the one that's up there now. But
So those are the colors, the dark green
same
background,
colors.
or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing.
No, I like the colors.
Yeah, oh yeah, same thing. And the price won't change, the amount's the same as what we gave you before. It comes to, I think we were asking for 5,000, and it's just a little under that to do the 2 signs. And then the other update was I met with V-Trans, Chris Pump's office, and Jack met us out at the Tapsville site, and he also met with Barry at the West Woodstock site. So I'll show you what he approved.
So you've got landowners that have agreed at both sites.
Yeah, well, we didn't need landowners' permission on either site,
Okay.
except if we go back to Woodbridge, which I need your input on, because,
Last I knew, I guess I've been talking to Barry, and he
Yeah.
thought they changed their mind. And I've been,
the Woodbridge people? Oh, I didn't hear that. I don't know, but I don't know about that, but he did meet with Gyra. I'm trying to find that picture. And I think it's in this other email. Yep. Oh. Okay, this one. This is what I guess Gyra agreed to. This is a mock here as to what it would look like.
It would just be perched right on the, oh, I see.
Yeah.
About 60 feet from the actual town
Right.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's preferable to going all the way down to Woodbridge,
Yeah, yeah.
because then,
The only question I have for you, you guys can answer this for me, I'm not sure. Do you think that'll interfere with plows?
I would think the plow would, first time they go by, that's gonna be,
It is,
we're happy.
I am a bit concerned about that
Yeah,
site,
we're a
because it's
little
right on a
concerned
bank,
about
it's very
that.
close to the
Right.
road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love the location, but we're a little bit, having a little struggle, and maybe we thought the town
pretty
highway
close to the
department
road.
could help us.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't know the Woodbridge changed their mind, if they
Well,
did,
Barry's the one that's been talking,
yeah.
if that's against the road, I see how you don't need state highway permission.
Oh,
if
well,
it's
we
in the
got
highway.
permission on that one.
Well, we'll need to see it in writing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, permits for that.
Jack came out from his
As
office.
I understand it, if you're gonna work in the state right away, they have permits, same as the town does.
Yeah, he came out, we know all of it.
Good,
He measured
good.
it, yeah. So that would work. I'm not crazy about that location personally. I prefer the one that's out by the Bridgewater septic.
Yeah.
The
But-
Bridgewater Select Board is taking that request up tonight.
They are beautiful. If they agree to that, the sign, Jerry Burns and myself and Charlie and Barry all think that's the best spot. We don't think there's any problem there. What do you guys think about that one?
Yeah, that's not that much further.
Right.
It's still, there's only one property.
Yeah,
affected.
and it won't affect the plow at all, because it'll be in
Yeah.
far enough. If they approve that, that would be ideal.
They need to approve it, and the state of Vermont needs to approve it if it's in the highway right away.
They approved it. I was out there
They
with
can
him.
sign off on it.
Yeah, he
That's no
will.
problem.
Jack will get me a sign off, because I spent 2 hours with him out there. So I got that covered. And then the other end, let's get the picture for Tassville. The Tassville sign will not work anywhere heading west because of the embankment. Nothing's going to work there. The right-of-way is 60 feet in that area. Okay, we had 4 locations chosen that Jack marked off, and the one he recommended, which if you go out there and stand there, you'll see that it is the best. And it would go right here on the east side, right there in Taftsville. Can you see that picture? Right here, he marked, right there.
That's the island?
Yes, yes. And as cars are coming and you're standing there, it's perfect, actually. You get a long range view of it. Yeah, it's actually better
Stone
there.
wall.
I don't know, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, let's just
The island in
wait.
front of the Tassville store,
Yeah.
so you're gonna be looking at it just before you kind of,
What's that do to
Turn-
visibility for their stores?
Just before you go around the
It doesn't
corner.
affect it at all. I would never block it.
So it's on, as you're coming in, it's on your left.
Right. Yeah. And V-Trans felt that that was the best spot for that, out in that
What's that
location.
gonna do for people pulling out of that intersection for sight vision?
Doesn't interfere at all. You have to go out there and physically be there to see that. We spent quite a bit of time watching the flow. He'll send a letter on that too.
I mean, you guys can make your own mind up, but yeah,
Yeah.
the store's sign is
And
somewhat
Vicky-
distant.
And Vicky came out and we showed her too.
That's right, going into the store right here.
yeah, this is the park, the store's right here.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. It wouldn't block her sign at all, and it doesn't block any stop signs or interfere with anything. We watched that flow quite a bit. I would recommend a smaller sign there, not the same dimension as the other one. I would put a
Right in
smaller
that
sign
little
there
island thing.
personally. I would ask Jerry to take 2 inches off on either side.
That's what the right way to do in the highway.
No, he
Guess I'd
totally,
like to see it in person.
yeah, you'd have to go out there and see. He totally approved that one.
Well, it's not in Route 4.
It's not
Is
on
that,
before.
that's in the,
He, believe me, so we were out there.
no,
for 2
I'm not
hours.
sure that the state guy liked that very much.
Yeah, he did. And nothing on the other side. Preferably would be nice, but it's not gonna work because there's 60 feet right of way in that area. We could do one other location, would need permission from the owners of the
The
condo.
town owns land alongside of Route 4, diagonally cross back from the cemetery. So the town owns some land between Route 4 pavement and the river,
Okay,
diagonally across from the cemetery.
that's way down though.
Yes, it is. I'm just saying that the town owns that piece, a little piece of land there,
Yeah.
a few acres.
We own the septic,
And the
Plant.
sewer plant.
the sewer plant.
Right, so you could mount something over the bank there. 'Cause that's-
Put it right up on the fence.
That defeats the whole purpose of the sign though, for Welcome to Woodstock, Cassville is Woodstock.
Right, you don't want it past
Those folks
Castle.
would not be happy.
So the pullout that goes into the sewer plant,
They want
I'm not the
Sackville
sewer
included
plant,
in
the,
that sewer plant.
the pullout that goes into CVPS,
Yes,
the town owns land
that's
Just-
beyond CVPS.
That's
just
wrong.
beyond
It's
CVPS?
quite a bit down.
Quite
It's
a
all the way
bit
down
down.
to the cemetery.
Hmm.
I checked it on the map. It's all the way down to the cemetery.
Ain't much there for land except the steep bank, right?
That's true. Like she said, you
Right
have to
down to the
reel it on
river.
post.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we did go down there and
So
look
it's
at that.
just as you come up the grade. It seemed to me like an ideal spot for it.
But you are through Tess and you are through that population center.
Oh, I see, they want it in Tazewell.
Yeah, they would also love a walkway across in that location. Who do you talk to about that one?
It's on Route 4, talk to the state of Vermont.
State of Vermont? Yeah. Yeah. I almost saw a woman get killed out there the other day. She was crossing. They all look at the bridge and they're so excited. They come up from the B&Bs and they try to get across Route 4 and they're not paying attention. It's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
The state is who you go to for that?
State of Vermont is the state
State
highway.
highway.
Agency of Trans?
Same people you
Same
talk to
people?
in White River
I'll talk
Junction.
to them. But anyway, this is what we've come up with. So if, I mean, you guys want to go out and see these spots yourselves?
I don't think I need to. I get a pretty good handle on what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not in favor, however, of the design change for the sign itself, incorporating the logo. As Preston alluded earlier, there has been a lot of controversy about that logo, and
We had 2 extensive meetings with the EDC about that, and I did not vote for that. I totally feel the same way as you do. I prefer this existing sign, the one we have, to look exactly like it.
I like the sign too, except for the logo.
Yes,
I'd like
we
it,
did not
like
want
it just
that.
plain without the logo.
But some of the people on the board felt that it was fair to have Jill from Sustainable Woodstock had come and did a citizen comment to one of our meetings, wanting to incorporate that. So we had a long discussion about it, and they decided to ask her if they would submit new designs, which they did, 3 designs. And then we had another meeting on that, and they chose this one. I wasn't in favor of any of it, but they voted for it. So if you want me to take that back to our next meeting, I would be delighted.
Well, I would oppose to that logo as well.
We do too, okay? Now, how do we broach that in our meeting with the folks that went through the trouble to come in?
do we have to sign off on this sign?
You're approving the money.
You're approving the money, but...
The money is raised in the
Yeah.
1% sales tax that comes back from Montpelier, the
Right.
check payable to the town of Woodstock and the select board. The mechanism set up for approving these grants is select board approval.
You've approved the money, you've done that already for the sign, but we didn't want to go forward unless you all agreed to location. And I don't know if your approval is needed for the design part.
Yes, I'd say it was. My recollection, Gail, is that the select board liked the idea and said, go back and give us some more details.
Yeah,
Well, we also were
Which we
shown a
have.
picture of a sign when we
Right.
approved it,
right.
and that's
I
now
brought
not...
that up at the meeting. I made a point of that. I agree with you. I would love to go back to the meeting and say, you did not approve this sign.
Okay.
Is that where we're at?
I think that is where.
Yeah, it is where we're at. I mean, my instinct is always not to be super heavy-handed, but I mean, we've got 3 members here who said they don't like the sign, so I mean, I don't like that logo on it.
If it's our
Is
money,
it-
Yeah,
can
I know.
Seems like
Can I
we
just
get-
ask, I'm Carolyn Kimball, and I was
Yes.
involved in creating the new logo
Yes.
with that
Mhm.
group.
Okay.
So is it a matter of the select board not endorsing the logo? Or is it a matter of the select board not comfortable with the logo itself on the sign?
That's a
I think
good
there's 2
question.
different issues here. So, we're working hard to get the new logo being used across the board for reasons that you use a logo. The Woodstock Inn has adopted it, many of the businesses in town have adopted it, so we'd like to encourage the use of the logo on the sign. So I just have to be clear, are you not endorsing the logo, or you're not endorsing the sign design?
I suppose I'll start and just say that there was the push initially for the trustees and the select board to approve the logo. And the select board did, after some discussion and a 3-2 vote, approve the logo, but then after that, we had a subsequent decision that we did not want to use it on any of our town trucks, letterhead, or anything like that.
So you endorsed the logo, but you weren't going to use the logo? Basically?
I think it's a classic case of that we had a divided board. And then now, of course, the board's,
And we've had a lot of pushback since
and the board's made a fair,
that
the
decision.
makeup of the board's changed a bit, yeah.
So how do we, so that's just a whole.
So I'm just telling you the
addition.
honest truth, that there is
Yeah.
a vote on record of us saying that we adopt the logo, and then there's a subsequent vote saying, but we're not gonna use it on things under our control. So I guess that's kind of where we're at.
So is there some way we can come back to you and try to convince you as a group
Oh, I
to
think we can
adopt
always
the
try.
logo again, and then use the logo?
Waited an awful long time as it is on these, getting these welcome to Woodstock signs. It's been 10 years.
Yes.
So waiting any further.
Well, anyway, that's what the,
So you
that's
don't
what
want
the
to,
two
you don't want to
cents.
get in the way of the actual
Right.
sign?
Right, and it would, because it's more delay.
Why they changed the font? Oh, is that because the
They
logo
did a
has
whole
that
new
font?
design and brought it to our last meeting,
Mhm.
which there was, half the meeting was discussing this, and they voted.
So we have 2 issues. We want to get the new sign in place, but the content of the sign is a problem.
Whoop, there it is.
You approved a sign
we
the way it
came
was
We
before?
approved
They approved the other one.
the other one.
Okay.
And I made a point of that. I am in favor of their decision on the Economic Development Commission board.
You were
I'm on
in
the
favor,
EDC.
you were in favor of the old sign being
Yes.
moved?
As I recollect from my first meeting was that the select board approved,
Well-
move forward with the sign that was, matched the village one.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I certainly don't want to get in the way of me, Carolyn, can get in the way of
And that's.
the sign, the new
reason
sign's
I'm
being
here.
placed, but I
Yeah.
guess we should come back to you and talk about the logo at another time. Because we'd like you to
You're
adopt,
welcome to
if
come
you
back and talk
adopted
to
it,
us.
we'd like you to enthusiastically support it.
It's hard to do.
What do we do about the sign? We're almost so close to getting these signs erected, and Jerry's ready to go. He knows what he's got to do. All we care about is what sign do you guys want to approve? And I'll take it back to my group,
Well, we've already approved
the first one,
the money for the first sign, contingent on you finding a location for
which
it.
we've done.
If you've got a location for that sign, then
Put it up.
we've approved that.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily feeling like we have to call for another vote, but I mean, my 3 fellow members here said they liked the previous sign, and that's what we approved.
So
I
I
think that's
I
where
agree
we're-
with Bob, that's,
Yeah.
was my recollection, that we approved that
Right.
sign, you find a location, and we pay for it.
Right.
Okay.
And when we made that approval, we specifically noted that it did not include the logo, and we were happy for that.
Believe me, I fought for this. I did not vote for this. So I am delighted to go back. I would take great pleasure in that. I would say to go back to the original sign, go back to square one. We've got the spots, and if we have your approval, we'll get Jerry out there and get signs up.
So while you have time to go back to the EDC board, will be time to
Right.
get going on the permits.
Right.
And I talked to 2 Bridgewater Select Board members, and I think that they will approve that.
They will approve that?
I
That would
think
be
that they will.
fabulous, Phil. That would be, that's my vote.
Well, I think they were,
Yeah.
they've indicated support for it.
That's excellent. Yeah.
But they actually vote and meet tonight.
Yeah.
We'll know
I
tomorrow.
think that's the best use,
Yeah, that'll be a
because
nice
putting it
place.
in front of something that says Bridgewater Mill is not,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even though we know that's what a
My idea.
legal boundary is, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So what I'll take back to the group is go back to the approval of the first sign.
Mhm.
You do not like the other sign, and go put the signs up. Is that what I'm clear on?
I think so. Yes.
Provided before it gets installed, before you order from
You let us
Jeremy,
know.
I think
no.
it's nice to have that well.
I need to see the piece of paper from the state of Vermont that says it's okay to put it there before you order the sign.
Okay, I can do that.
Although you
I'll get that for you,
disappointed
and then you
yourself.
can with the select.
Well, it did say
board
welcome.
in
The other one, they both said
I
welcome.
think they did, I'll go tomorrow
We'll
for
know
sure.
tomorrow.
I don't want to
Can you
hold
shoot Barry or me an email on that?
Just as soon as I know.
A lot of people
Okay,
get
I'll
asking
get
me
you
about
an
that.
Me too.
That's good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we can launch right into our public hearings. Kind of interesting how the public hearing can be sort of anticlimactic, but anyway, at least the first one is about road alteration at Noah Wood Road, and so I will call that public hearing to order at 7:04 by the wall clock. I say it's a little ironic in that we had quite a turnout for the field, for the site visit, but if I understand how these things work, the site visit's only looking, and the public record is what's said here. No one is appearing here, but I guess we can just, why don't I let you repeat
Sure,
what
I'll
we did,
reiterate.
what was presented?
At Noah Wood Road, at the intersection of John Darling Road and Noah Wood Road, there was a public hearing regarding taking what somebody did as a road cut during the winter and improving the appearance of it by putting in a landscaped terrace with stone, backfilled with earth and a series of plantings. They will maintain a very functional town ditch along the edge of the road to move water. It won't negatively impact the town road, and it will look better than what is there. It'll all be done at the landowner's expense.
And just to be clear for those that are watching, although there's been some public concern about this excavation and the unsightliness, the bottom line is for us is it just was it created an entrance onto a town road without an access permit.
That's correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Chief.
We won't have any, do any maintenance on that afterwards.
No, that's correct.
Good.
So since there is no one here to offer testimony, and since we're just simply acting on what was presented, what nature of our approval do you think it should be?
For the whole plan.
Just to approve the plan as presented?
As drawn by Willis Engineering
Okay.
and
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
To approve
motion's
the
made.
road alteration to Noah Wood Road as presented by.
Yep.
Willis
I'll
Engineering.
second that.
Made and seconded. Any further discussion? Not those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Then we'll declare the public hearing closed at 7:06. All right. Now we have another public hearing, which we will open at 7:06, which is for the 2016 Comprehensive Town Plan.
so as you learned last week, there's several changes required to our town plan. One is the village center designation, and the other are some floodplain regulations. And so it essentially amends the entire document by adding those sections.
Right.
Those are mandated by the state,
Yes.
those changes.
And we can't actually amend it, we have to re-adopt the entire,
That's right. So you're amending the plan by adopting a new plan that includes those 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Seems kind of convoluted, yes.
yeah,
It does, but I'm familiar with it, I know how that works, and, one part does include the Woodstock Village designation, yeah, which is a good thing. I
It's
mean,
been around for over 10 years
yeah,
now.
no, that's a good thing to have in there, and then
The other is...
flood resiliency is flood resiliency, yeah.
so I'll make a motion that we adopt the 2016 Comprehensive Town Plan.
I'll second that.
All right, made and seconded, any discussion? I'm wondering, just want to look at one thing here. Okay, action items. It doesn't look that it has a hard and fast recommendation that will adopt the state river corridor regulations, which
I'd like to know that.
I'd prefer that just because they can be very sweeping, and sometimes it's better to have a better look at them before we actually do that. Okay, motion's made and seconded. Those in favor, I guess no further discussion. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The updated town plan has been adopted. All right.
To the public hearing,
Yes, thank you. So the public hearing is,
because I'm going to have to take off.
you have to take
I
off,
have another
okay.
commitment.
Okay, so I guess we'll say 7:08, the public hearing is closed. All right, well, thank you for being here for the time you could be here.
Well, thank you for making
See
it
you,
so
Bob.
enjoyable. John, see you later.
Yeah.
You think we can handle it, John?
All right, so we're supposed to set a public hearing date for amendment to the zoning regulations.
Yes, and Michael is to be here.
Okay,
We'll come back to him when he shows up.
Okay.
okay.
Handout.
Shall we just move on to bid tabulations for paving Churchill Road and sand bids?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay.
So the first one on the agenda is paving Churchill Road. And I'll say that it's 1.3 miles, not starting across from Town Hall, starts at the town line, the town village line, and it'll extend up 1.3 miles. And that is resurfacing all the existing, it does not add any new lineal feet of paved road. This is an 80% grant, so the $98,299 low bid, the town will be on the hook for something just shy of $20,000. Low bid was blacktop for both, for paving and line strip. So this is going to give us a double yellow center line and a white fog line along each
That's
edge.
included in that.
That's included in that, okay.
How far does 1.3 miles go?
It goes past Vin's, around the corner, just up the hill and it flattens out when you get past Vin's.
So it's the same place the pavement ends now?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And it starts at the town, village line.
So it's a village line.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So it's virtually an $80,000 state grant.
I make a motion, we approve Blacktop's bid, which is the lowest bid. And they do excellent work.
They do.
We've had good luck with them.
Second,
Made and seconded. I'm assuming no discussion, so those in favor of accepting the blacktop bid, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. I think we've made that decision.
Give a shout out to the state of Vermont for their $80,000 on
Yeah,
this
absolutely,
project.
absolutely. I'd hate to think of us having to pay that whole tab.
They'll get it out of here somewhere.
Yeah,
We can pay it, dear, yeah.
yeah. Okay. What about the sand bids?
Sand bids are here. D&D is the low bid on your bank run, and Lebanon crushed on your manufactured sand. We tend to mix the two products. Some people didn't bid all of it, some people only bid part of it.
Is that Twin State, you saying Lebanon Crush?
Yes, Twin State, right?
Yeah, okay.
It's hard to tell who owns what over there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
looking for
It
Lebanon
is
Crush.
Twin State, thank you.
All
Butch.
right. That's all
Yeah,
right.
Twin States. Twin States,
There's Michael.
manufactured sand is, what's, 20 cents less.
You look like you had to rush to get here.
Is that correct?
So D&T is your cheapest green sand,
Yeah.
and Twin State is your cheapest washed manufactured. It's 20 cents less than Pike.
Yeah.
20 cents. So you're looking for an approval? on
Yes,
this? So
What do you
I'll
think?
approve,
just take the low bids
take the low bid.
I would
across the board.
I'd say so.
I'll second that.
So
So it's,
the low bid for sand is D&D, right?
For the,
Right.
for that
Green
part of
sand.
it.
Yeah, and then the low bid for
Twin State.
Wash manufactured.
the wash manufacturers.
So that's kind
Okay.
of my consider
Okay.
dust byproduct
Yep.
from, but they make it out of the ledge rock.
Okay, motion, I guess John's making that motion and you're seconding it. Any further discussion now that I know what the motion is? If not, those in favor say aye.
All right.
Good, thank you. Michael, we might as well take you next. I think you're here just to talk about
Did you want to just give me those pictures?
scheduling a hearing.
Well, we have a hearing to be scheduled.
Yeah.
This is the actual amendment.
Okay.
Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
Michael?
And
So,
this is a clarification of the.
so you're just merely adding the underlined text? Okay.
Right, the
Okay.
underline would be added, right,
Yeah.
right. So there's just clarification because the earlier document stated per single and two-family, it's required such and such
Yeah,
acreage or square footage, and when the TDRB reviewed a specific application, they felt there wasn't, for multifamily homes, more than 2 units, we don't have anything there, so I just spelled it out specifically, exactly what's required. And we did that for each zoning district, so there'd be no
yeah.
ifs, ands, or buts. It's been like that for 28 years now, so.
Yeah.
But this just clarifies that and puts it to bed, so we just need a public hearing.
Yeah,
So if you guys want to set a date, there's no rush. Have to be done within 150 days of when the planning commission approved it on June 1st.
okay.
So before December.
What do you think, Bill? Just at our next meeting?
Do, what's the 30 days rule?
Oh, 30 days already gone by, because that would have been July 1st. This was approved by the planning commission on
So as long as the
June 1st.
timeline
Yeah.
works for their next meeting, we're
Yeah.
not in trouble with meeting a 30-day deadline
And
for
I can
this
set-
warning
yeah,
period.
yeah. I'll set up the public hearing notice and all that stuff.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Good, good.
Yeah, that would be great.
So we'll do it your next meeting.
So the next meeting is August
Good.
23rd. I'm sorry, August 16th.
August who?
16th,
I like the 23rd.
no, 16th.
Math doesn't work.
Because that, yeah, that is the 3rd, so
I know. It's just so
as long
funny
as,
to me.
so that's at 6 PM, right?
6 PM. Yeah.
Might as well put it in right now. And just for my, we already voted on the town plan changes, Michael, but.
Oh, you did? Oh, good.
Yeah, you probably. You know, I didn't know you were coming, and we
I'm
flew
sorry.
right through it, and then we got to this, and Phil goes, well, Michael's coming, and I said, oh. Well, I can tell you, because even though we voted on it, I just wanted to be clear. It didn't look to me like the town plan amendment commits the town to adopting the state river corridor rules.
River corridor?
Yeah,
We're not mandated to do that.
and we're not promising the town amendments that we're gonna do it.
No,
In the
that
flood
is-
resiliency chapter.
To be honest, the planning commission is reviewing that right now.
Yeah,
And they'll probably be submitting it with our plan rewrite, town zoning
Yeah.
rewrite, excuse me.
yeah,
But the flood resilience, I
that-
think it encourages that, but I don't think it states we have to.
yeah. I only say that because I have not looked at Woodstock, but I just know sometimes it's shocking when people find out just how many buildings those river corridor rules can encompass. I don't know what is triggered in Woodstock.
It's pretty much equal to the 100-year floodplain,
It
yeah.
is much different? Okay.
No, it's not that much.
I was just gonna say, there are some communities where it's,
I
Very
understand,
different.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
but as long as we're not committed to it, as long as they're
No,
looking
we-
at it, and as long as when we are
No,
committed
this
to it,
does
we'll
not-
know what it is, then that's
Yeah.
good. That's
Yeah.
all I wanted to know.
Good,
Okay.
good.
Don't forget, that's Bennington Battle Day.
That means you get the day off.
He's got every day off now.
Well, you're still working, aren't you? Okay. Well, thank you, Michael. I'm
So you're all
sorry
set
if
with
we,
this then?
we already accepted it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. See, we had so much confidence that we just did it.
Good, 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 good. So we'll see you in the future.
Yes, next month.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks. So our police chief came in town, huh?
Yeah, he really brought a report up to me.
Oh, that's all
He
it was?
knew I'd be here.
Okay.
He doesn't have anything for the select board.
He doesn't. I was about to offer him that if he had something to talk to us about, we'd change our agenda, but if he doesn't, that's good. So you have, moving on ahead on our agenda, you have vacancies for fence viewer and listers.
Correct. So the practice will be to run an ad in the newspaper saying we had a vacancy and interview all your candidates next month.
Okay? Okay.
So you've got your letter of resignation from Charlie Degner, who is now our full-time town clerk.
Right.
There was talk of them trying to get by with 2 until the election on town meeting day, but they were finding that they need some extra help with the workload. So they're asking,
Okay.
the listers would like the vacancy be filled.
Okay.
And the fairest way is to advertise the opening,
Yep.
then you know who's interested.
Yep. No,
How
I'm
many
quite,
hours a week is that?
20,
20 hours a week.
8 until noon, 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. No, it's the kind of position that should be advertised, absolutely. It's not your typical appointment where, I mean, there's some significant compensation with it, and, yeah,
That's
I
correct.
agree. And we normally have 2 fence viewers?
3.
3, and we're down
We're
1.
down 1.
Okay. All right.
And Dick Roy thinks they've got a case coming up, so I'll advertise that also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I don't think we need to act on that. Deputy Fire Warden, is there something that's some
Last
authorization?
month, you appointed Emo to be deputy fire warden. There's a document Lynn has for the board to sign.
Okay.
She's passing it down now.
Do we have to pass a resolution or just merely sign it?
I think you did the work last
I
month.
think we did it last
Now
time,
you're
so-
signing
did
it.
approve it
Good.
at the last meeting, but this is
Good.
the paperwork.
And then the next agenda item, which says property taxes, that's setting the tax rate?
That will be setting the tax rate. Here's what happened.
Yeah. Thank you. I think I can do that.
The grand list was finally set last week following the reappraisal. And they lodged it with the town clerk and sent it up to the state of
You need to
Vermont
sign it,
Property
too.
Valuation and Review.
As one of the members.
And I was gonna report, I don't know when I'll be able to provide you a tax rate to set, because the single #1 number is the state school tax. We got that in the mail yesterday,
Okay.
and so the calculations for,
To sign one of those slots.
for everything other than the state school tax is strictly a function of the grand list and the dollars voted at town meeting. So here is the tax rate.
Okay.
Overall, the state school tax for residents is down 6 cents over last year.
Yeah.
And on the town side, it's down about 1/10 of 1 cent. So for all intents and purposes, people are gonna be happier with their tax bill than they were last year. Nobody's ever happy with it,
No,
but it's a little less than last year.
considering the fact that it's, death and taxes are an absolute, that's good. What, a quick reason why it should be 6 cents down?
I have no idea.
No.
How that thing is calculated
It's
is
just-
a complete mystery.
In other words, it's the state side, it's not our
They,
side.
they send you a letter to
Yeah.
tell you what it's
Yeah.
gonna be,
Yeah,
and that's that.
yeah.
And they know what it should be because they know our grand list.
Yeah. No, there's been a lot of talk about how the state has a formula and it's a mystery to everyone.
That's all right, no problem.
Yeah, okay, well, good. For our residents, it's 6 cents lower.
That's right.
Hallelujah. All
I
right,
need a motion to approve.
okay.
So moved.
Motion's made. John,
Yeah.
second it, okay. Those in favor of approving the Woodstock tax rate, which is 2.0906 for residential and 1.9556 for non-residential, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Our tax rate is now set
Thank you.
for FY17.
Yes,
All right, properties for tax sale.
yes. In your packet is a list of properties that I'd like to turn over to Attorney Dagger for help in collections. So last time what you did with the ones that ended up going to tax sale last month was Bill worked with them a little bit, sent some letters, and then didn't hear from anybody. I sent these people a warning letter. This is the last notice you're going to get before tax sale proceedings begin. There's some people I wrote to who are not on this list because we've come to some terms. And I'd like to move forward.
These are all dating back at least to 2014.
That's correct.
Some
Nobody's,
some are 2012, 2013, 2010 even here one, yeah. No, I know very well this is what has to be done. Okay.
so I'll bring a list to you before they go to tax sale.
Yeah.
Because tax sales have to be approved by the select board. I'm the delinquent tax collector, I can do a lot, but I need select board approval to actually go with tax sale.
Looks like there's 12 in all.
I think that's a fair number. Yep.
Yeah. Of course, most of them usually redeem before,
You got mortgage holders
far.
often redeem.
yeah. But it's the way for us to get the income that
I
we
used
have to have.
Right, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay, is anyone ready to make a motion on this?
We move.
Yeah, motion's made. John?
Second. I'll second
Motion
it.
seconded. Any further discussion? If not, those in favor of proceeding, what exactly are we doing? I'm turning them over to
You're
Bill Jack.
approving me to send this list of property taxpayers who are delinquent to Bill Dagger to see
Yeah.
what he can do with some letters, and then eventually, if he doesn't have any
Yeah.
luck, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
back to you
Yeah, got
after
it.
if you want to authorize going to tax.
So it's not actually the tax sale yet?
That's
Okay,
correct.
good.
This is-
Thank you for that clarification. Those in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Good, all right, thanks. Now we move on to ambulance write-offs for FY
So
14,
these are
15.
been uncollectible.
Yep,
It's not a bad list, we've had worse, it's $5,285.30.
yeah,
on about a $400,000 budget.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this many times in past years,
Yes.
and they're confidential, and they're this and they're that, and, yeah,
That's why the names are redacted.
right. And,
Well, in most cases, the bill's about $1,000, and what's being written off is somewhere between $150 and $180,
yeah,
with a couple of no pays.
yeah,
But mostly, this is what's left over
Yep.
after Medicare, and the
yeah,
person doesn't have any money left.
yep. Yep. Well, you know, I mean, we take the reasonable effort to collect, and after a while, you just, that's all you can do is write it off. So anyway, okay,
I move we write these off.
all right, motion's made.
I'll second that.
John seconds. Any further discussion? If not, those in favor say aye. All right. I'm assuming that's ayes. Okay. And the record will reflect that we're going to do those write-offs. Now we're curious about the next item, the rumble strips on US 4.
Okay. So it's no secret, the state of Vermont is repaving Woodstock, Bridgewater, and Killington. It'll start right here at the rec center and go into West Bridgewater and into Killington. The project will have rumble strips. I'm getting the word out. People made, if they don't like it, now's the time to come forward. I don't know what to tell you. Just warning everybody that they're coming.
Well, I think this board has been seeing rumble strips as a good thing, but I realize that those that live near them might feel differently.
I'm told that they're somewhat redesigned and that
Yeah.
the cuts are not as deep
Mm,
and then therefore not as noisy.
mm,
They've got some policies so that if the house is real close to the road, they will not put it in. I think the rule is 100 feet.
Well, that's why they filled in some rumble strips. And I mean, we followed that issue, and we know they have a policy about that, yeah.
But between Channel 8 and the Vermont Standard, getting the word out,
Yep.
then the people can start talking about it and know what to expect in the repaving. I guess the state does it every time they repave a road.
Are they gonna do 106, Phil? With the
I guess
rumble
not.
strips?
I can ask the question.
Because that was my understanding, that they were going to, after every repaving job, they were going to do rumble strips throughout the state, and I was curious, because of course they come in and do it afterwards, so they could still be doing it.
I will ask,
But
but,
on 106, it's gonna be
Sure.
hard to keep that 100 feet, because there is a lot of residents out there.
well, they just pick it up, start, stop, pick
Yeah,
it
I
up,
know.
start, stop. I'll ask where they are.
I mean, that hasn't been a high accident rated road, but,
They don't do this until they get the road all paved, is that correct?
yeah, they come in
So
afterwards.
the engineer's gonna mark out where they will go and people can see after it's paved.
So that's fair enough, I think.
Yeah. Okay,
I just want
well,
everybody to be aware of it, both on
Yeah.
the board and in the
no,
community.
I appreciate that, and as I said, I think from this board's perspective, we wanted to see rumble strips, but we understand that. Okay, enough said. Errors and omissions report to the grand list, which is a letter from the listers. No, I guess that's not a letter from the list. Wait a minute.
There is an errors and omissions report,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is from the listers.
Yeah.
And it is a standalone, one-page letter.
Right. There are two corrections to the lodge grand list. Okay. Well, what's your pleasure?
Can you explain that a little bit to me, Phil?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. You got the letter in front of you, John?
Yeah,
So once you lodge a grand list, the listers have no more control over it. that control falls to the select board. He's saying after they lodge the grand list, they discover the parcel ID 120109 to not include some property that they own. So the people that own Part A picked up some land from a neighbor. Now the total parcel is Part A plus Part B, and listers had only taxed Part A, and so they're asking you to adjust the grand list by adding
I gotcha.
what they bought from their neighbor.
All right.
And the second correction, they had added a water and sewer assessment to a piece of land on Shirtlift Lane that did not have that amenity. Water and sewer was never put to that lot, so they wanted to reduce it.
Gotcha.
And so those are corrections to the 2016 grand list. If the listers had noticed this the day before they lodged it, they could have done this on their own. But because it's lodged, it's signed, sealed, delivered, the only people who can make these amendments is the select board. Is that clear?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I understand.
It is confusing.
Well, it is.
There's no question about it.
A lot of things about state law are confusing. Anyway, so moved. John?
Yes.
Seconded. All right. Those in favor of accepting the errors and omissions as was presented by the listers, please say aye.
Aye.
Good, thank you. That is done. Although I think we need to sign it.
Yes, you do.
So
Yes, you do.
if we have an original to sign, that would be good.
Coming your way.
All right, John, we come to your department, overweight truck permits.
I didn't see any.
We didn't have any.
We did not have any.
I make a motion that,
So anything for the sewer commissioners?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Then I guess we're down to approval of minutes unless there's any new business. No, I think we can, well, what is today?
18th, 19th.
7/19. All right, John, you get to sign. All right, then we get to look at minutes, which we have, what, 3?
Yes.
No, actually, this so-called joint meeting just had 2 select board members at it, right?
No.
We don't have 3.
You were 3. You don't have to have any, actually, for last week's trustees. Trustees are.
Oh, Grady was there, okay, I'm sorry, all right.
Trustees will come in tomorrow and have a continuation of their meeting from last week to get this done.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I believe me, I'm not trying to be difficult, but I wasn't at that, so I can't vote for it, so I don't know if we can actually approve it tonight. But anyway,
We can approve the June 13th.
but we can approve both June 17 and June 13.
I'll move and approve this 13.
You okay with them, John?
yeah, there's just a few, I can't remember right where it is, but there's just a few punctuation marks in
Yeah,
in one
Where's your
section
spell
there.
check, kid?
I guess if,
But that's quite all right.
yeah,
You're forgiven.
all right. So those in favor of approving the June 13 and June 17 minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, and I'll say aye too, and then the 3 of us will cover it, and we will be, those will be approved. And I guess you probably want us to sign them too.
That'll be coming.
Okay. Well, believe it or not, I think we're down to adjournment pending approval of expense warrants.
Here's the
I
minute.
make a motion that it's when we get the expense warrants signed, that we adjourn.
All right. You agree, Butch?
I do,
All
I
right.
agree to anything.
So those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Then we are adjourned. Thank you.